onto the rail.
There you go. Practice alternating your leg just like I did. Good, so try and really feel when each foot is going forward. So really sitting deep in your saddle, your spine is in line with his spine. You're paying close attention. If you have to, blades down at his shoulders, we're trying to get an idea. Good. Drop your stirrups. And let your leg hang down right by the girth. And squeeze and hold. Don't ask him to go faster, just let your leg rest there. And feel his leg come back to meet yours. Now as you feel it come back to meet yours, take it away and give him a little tap. Good. And ask him to pick up his legs just a little bit higher when he comes back. And lean back and bring your leg away from his side a little bit more with the taps, just to make it a little bit more effective. Good. When you get by the clock, squeeze in your leg and lean back and say whoa and he'll halt.
Whoa. Perfect. Good boy.
Very good. Now see if we can trick him just with your balance. So what I want to do today is mostly going to be how small your signals can be to control each step, so you know exactly what he's going to do. And then if you're using a small signal, you know if he's not going to listen to that signal, you have a greater amount of things to try. So we're going to use all your natural aids, and if you can control them perfectly with natural aids, you know when you add the artificial aids, you're just going to gain more and more control. So let's see if you can use your balance to tell him the direction you want him to go. So lean back, keep your reins long, and just squeeze lightly in your heel. And see if he'll back up. Just keep leaning back further and further. There you go. Good.
Your reins.
Try not to use your reins. So we're going to trick him and see if he'll bump into the reins and back himself up. Stronger leg. So what we're going to do, you have great reins. So let's put them here. And then you're going to do exactly what I do. So your shoulders are going to come back and you're going to keep your reins with you. Good. And as he's getting pushed into the bit with your leg, he's going to want to step forward but step back. So harder leg. There you go. Good. Really good. So then you're not pulling back his head, you're moving his legs. Okay, now lean forward, put your hands forward, squeezing your leg. Now he's allowed to go forward. Very good. So some example I'm going to give you of that. Let's illustrate it. When you get through the middle, straight line halt to the wall. Okay, one thing John talks about is when you squeeze with a leg, that his head comes back to you. Do you know which leg squeezes and his head comes back?
Well, the side you're squeezing.
Okay, why do you think his head goes that way when you're using that leg? Doesn't that seem to?
Well, he's conditioned to get a treat from your hand when you give him that signal. Plus, it makes his head turn from that direction, which will make his body go in that direction.
True. That's exactly what I was looking for, was that his body goes in that direction. So we're not just using his training, we're using his natural motions to make him work. So like if you have a ball on the ground, what you're going to do to keep him walking is when he goes, you're going to kick left, right, to make him forward. Keep that body between your leg and going straight. But what that does for his body and his motion is when you're bending him, he's putting all his weight on that outside leg and is able to lift that inside leg and move it. So as you're bending him and keeping him going, he's able to pick up those legs really strong and move them really far. Does that kind of make some sense? Okay, so let's try, just like what John says, turning his head to the right. So squeeze and kick with your inside leg. Good, and that turned him to the right. And you didn't even have to use any rein, did you?
Hardly.
Good. Well, let's keep doing that. So in the turns, you want to bend him around that leg. Push him over, get him pushing those legs really strong. Really good. I want to see him as an even faster walk. Good. Start bending him here, pushing him out. Make that circle as wide as you can. Right leg is gonna, good. Really good. You did it before I could even say it. So right now, what's he doing when he's turning his head to the left?
He's looking at the mounting block, which is not going to.
He is doing that. What I meant is, what's his body doing?
I don't, he's walking,
That's good. Okay.
he's listening to my leg.
Very good. Put your shoulders back, close your eyes, turn to the right, and as you feel him come this way, I'm going to tell you what it's happening. It's happening now. Now look at his head. Keep him going. Did you see it that time? Okay, he was putting his shoulder into the inside a little bit.
Oh.
So as he was looking at the mounting block, that's
He was
true.
looking to the outside too. His head
Right.
was turned to the outside.
And that puts his head, it's like,
Yeah, I was trying to give him more signals to turn his head back to the right, but he was definitely to the left.
well, we're going to work on controlling his shoulder more than his head, because with Fabio, what I've noticed, he likes to play this psychological game with you, where he'll look at stuff and make you think he's going to go there, but his body won't go there. He's like a bobblehead. So we're going to really control his body today. And no matter where he looks, we're not going to be concerned with that. All the reins are going to do is halt him and tell him to slow down. The steering is going to come from your leg. As you're going this way, change directions. Go to the left and do a figure 8. Don't use your rein. Good. Now keep him straight. Perfect. Give him a little more light because he hasn't been down here yet. The sunlight might look a little bit different. Good. Just keep him walking. Shoulders back. Perfect. And keep him walking in a half circle this direction. Good. Don't worry, we'll get to the faster pace stuff soon, I promise.
No, that's fine. I'm just trying to get him to turn with my leg on that.
And you're doing a really, really good job. So right now, when we see him doing that with his shoulder, what can we use of your body to make him bend that shoulder back?
I like to get his head back.
That's right. We could either use your inside leg really strong and push that shoulder out. What's another way we can push that shoulder out without putting pressure on his mouth?
My weight distribution.
That's a way to do it. I was thinking indirect rein. So
Oh,
hold for a second.
I was like trying to think of that right.
No, that's good. The way that I think of the reins is more when you have a direct rein and you're opening it,
Right.
he feels the pressure in the bit,
Right.
and that's a restraining pressure. But when you're using an indirect rein, that pressure's right here. So it's a little bit different. It controls that shoulder. So let's see if we can make that help you keep him really far on the rail. Almost like you're going to use your inside rein to brush the wall. There you go. Really strong outside leg. Expect him to try and cut that in. Even lean back. Let me hear it against his side. There you go. Good. And slow him down if you need to with the rein. Just don't steer him with the rein. Good. And what that's doing, when you're not always using the rein to steer him, when you do need to slow him down, it'll be more effective because he's not used to that pressure. Good. So right now, big left leg kick. And indirect rein. Good. Good. So let's change direction through the middle. Very good, Becky. It looks really, really controlled. He hasn't done one bad thing yet. Good. Let's see you bend him through the middle again. Try not to use your reins. Rest him on his neck if you need to, even, to try and not use them. So left leg strong. Indirect rein if you need to. Good. Do you feel like you're more in control of his feet? Do you feel like you're really aware of where his feet are stepping and you know what the next step he's going to take is?
Yeah.
Really good. That's what we're aiming at. So if you were heading towards a jump, what we'd want to do is make sure that you knew exactly what the pace was going to be, so that you knew exactly the step he was going to take off, and then you wouldn't be left behind in the motion. Everything would come together perfectly. So it's really, really good. If you're comfortable with it, we can either do it with or without stirrups. Let's practice this bending at a little bit faster of a pace.
Okay.
So let's bring him almost to the trot. If you can make him really slow trot, do that. If you feel uncomfortable at any time, just hold him. So you have full control. Lean back, big kick both legs at the same time. There you go. And just like pedaling a bike, instead of holding your leg there, let it move away. And shoulders way back, just rock with the motion. Good. So right now, before you ask him to try, he's at a faster walk, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Does it feel like a different way that his hips are moving? Do you feel like they're kind of moving like this instead of,
Yeah,
the
he's
smooth-
definitely, coming more forward.
Yeah, it's a different motion in the seat is what I'm getting at. And your hips need to move a different way.
Right.
And the way that you're really sticking down is by moving with that. So as you feel him speed up, try to really focus more on feeling the saddle than where he's going. Because if you need to, we'll hold him. So just ask him to try. Good. And lean back and just feel the saddle. Because the more you can stick to the saddle, the more you know where he's going to go. Because you're going to be able to feel every step that he takes. Good. If he's still being bad, I'm giving you props to use to keep him going. I just really want you to feel that saddle. Really good, Becky. Strong right leg right now. Lean back though when you kick him. Good. There you go. Does that feel less bouncy than before? Slow him down. Give him little half halts, but keep squeezing in your legs so he doesn't run through. There you go.
They start going.
Halt. What was that?
I said, once he finally gets moving at a nice trot, I'm trying to keep him from breaking.
Uh-huh. Is it harder to do down here, do you think? Should we try going all the way around so you have the long wall to push up?
Sure.